Hello, and welcome to another episode of Celebrating Southbridge. I'm Ron Sanangelo, your town manager, and I'm here again today to talk about some of the issues and the things that are happening all around Southbridge. As all of you I'm sure know by now, we are celebrating our Bicentennial, and there's a lot of great things planned that are coming up. I'm very happy to have two special guests today. Again, Steve Brady, the chairman of the Bicentennial Committee, and an unknown guest is Sean Moriarty, our former town chair. It's glad to have you back, and look forward to continue working with you in this scope of your future here. So, the issue, I guess, today is talking about some of the great events that you guys are going to be doing. I'm going to kick it off with one that's coming up soon, and that is the parade celebrating our Bicentennial. So, Steve, why don't you kind of lead us off? And most importantly, write this down, folks, because we're going to talk about the date of the parade, when it's going to be in the times, where it's going to be, so that you and your family can show up to the event. So, Steve, why don't you start us with that? When is the parade?
Well, the parade's Saturday, May 14th, and it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. It starts at Crane Street and Hamilton Street and goes down Hamilton Street to Main Street, and then takes a left onto Main and goes all the way down to the Rotary, around the Rotary, and up Mechanic Street, and ends after the police station.
And the date was what?
May 14th.
So
it's
it's
a
coming
Saturday.
up quickly, so
Yep.
people need to get prepared.
Yep.
We're expecting a lot of people to come to the parade, and
Yep.
how are you spreading out the message? I know
Well,
we're obviously doing that today, but
there's-
how else
there's-
are you spreading out the message of the parade?
Yeah, there's Facebook, there's the website, and we're putting stuff in the paper. The T&G is also having their 150th, and they want to work with us on the Bicentennial to get some things out, so we're working with them. So
Facebook. What's
Yeah.
the name of the site? If you're a citizen out there watching this TV show, what site that they should look at to get more details about the parade?
They just go onto Facebook and type in Southbridge Bicentennial. It'll pop right up.
Southbridge Bicentennial. Terrific. And that gives you a schedule of events and stuff?
It sure does, and so does the website. And there are events on the Facebook page, so you know what's coming up right around the corner. So you can find everything.
And the website address
The
is?
website is southbridge200.org, and
.org.
everything is on that as well. So you can just click on any event, you'll get the information about the event. And the events are on the home page, so as soon as you go in, you'll see the events that are
So,
coming
Steve,
up.
tell me about the marchers. Do you have a big group of people marching? Do you have bands? What do you got?
We have about 42 entries right now. So we have everything from local businesses, we have Shepherd Hill Marching Band, we have local organizations and churches, and it's going to be a good parade. It's kicking off with the Mummers, the Furco Mummers from Philadelphia, and that's just like the 1966 parade, and we're going to end up with the Shriners at the very back of it. Now, it's a full contingent of Shriners. They say they need about a quarter of a mile to do their display, so it's going to be quite the display. Mm-hmm. We also have Rotary, and there's a bunch of organizations with floats, but one of the more interesting ones is Rotary, because Rotary has the oldest calliope in the United States, which is entered in the parade and will be playing for the entire route. Now, if you don't know what a calliope is...
I was just thinking the same thing.
Right, if you don't know what a calliope is, think of circuses, the old-time circuses with the music that you associate with it. Well, those are from calliopes, so it's a mix of wind-driven organ sounds, bells, whistles, pipes, and drums. It's all on a machine. It's really kind of neat.
So, Sean, you've been involved in this Bicentennial from the beginning and doing it. I mean, is there things for kids to see at this parade? What's this? Tell me, why should I bring my family and friends and come down to the parade, and what can I expect as entertainment? I know he's talked about some things. Is this kid friendly?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know any parade that isn't. This parade is going to be what we hope to be something that people will talk about 50 years from now at the 250th anniversary. You're having all kinds of different types of music and entertainment and representations, dance and so forth that'll come through there. So it's really something that's for all ages, all backgrounds, all heritage, ethnicities. If you're from town, or even if you're just from a neighboring town, and a lot of times you'll see people go to one town or another for a big parade, just because who doesn't like a parade? So it's really one of these things that you're going to see, I'm sure. Some of the entrants in the parade will be handing out candy or toys or so forth, but the Shriners alone are a parade within the parade, and they're going to bring out the little go-karts and the whole 9 yards, going up and down the trucks and doing little tricks, and it's something that'll certainly keep the kids engaged, keep the kids interested, but it'll be one of those sort of things. Mom, Dad, Grandma, and Grandpa, they're going to be pretty entertained too.
Right. Hey, I remember in the early discussions about this, there's a little bit about history in this too. And you guys are talking about the timing of the parade as it relates to the history of the town. Is that still moving forward? Tell me a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's chronological. So the earliest, the people in the front of the parade are from the earliest part of the town's history. So we have representatives from Charlton, Dudley, Sturbridge towards the beginning. And then as we go back, we go into different groups that are entered into the parade, and on their banners will be the year that their corporation or their group was founded. And so it's in that order. So it's going to be a chronicle progression of the town's history. So that's kind of neat. And
is it too late for organizations that want to join the parade to join, or what do you think? How's that work?
We had a deadline. It was Friday, the 15th.
Okay.
But we're always open.
We're flexible.
We're flexible. We're flexible. The big challenge is to get the entry in as soon as possible, because what we're going to be doing is we have to mark off the staging area. So we want to know what groups are going where and the length of their entry. So if you take Harrington Hospital has the health mobile, the long mobile. So we're gonna space off an area down on Crane Street, River Street for that. So it's important to get your entries in as soon as possible. That's what I would say.
Shane, I know one of the things that me and you talk about is the town's relationship to the parade and how we can connect. And I know that our DPW has been, cleaning off the sidewalks and cleaning the street. We've done sweeping, and we're going to be doing line painting to clean up downtown. And you guys have some banners that you're going to be talking about as well, and putting up some Bicentennial banners. Can you tell us a little bit about the banners and I think you're doing some things to cross the street and stuff. Tell us a little bit about the decor of the parade and what it should look like.
Sure. We have one of the things that I think most of us on the committee, if not all, agree on is really you want to make this something that celebrates the community and is for and by the community. And one of the ways that we've done that is we did the logo contest, which is probably 18 plus months ago now. Seems like it was just yesterday. But we've done different sort of contests and competitions just to try and get some empowerment and some ownership of different folks in town. So Charlene Arazo won the logo contest, and we had dozens of entries in that, and a lot of really great entries, and hers wound up winning. We have the Quinnebog Valley Council of Arts and Humanities. They have resident artists and different artists who kind of help judge that, along with just a Facebook poll, if you will. And we did a similar thing with the banner contest, and I know we've got some proofs here.
Yeah, it's kind of, I can't really show them. They're
a little small in that
small
case.
to show, but showing the different looks of the different banners that are going to be on the different poles. Kind of like if you remember at Christmas, we had banners about the Christmas season. The same kind of thing will happen with different things as it relates to the Bicentennial.
Right. So we put out a banner contest, and the great majority of these entries were from elementary school students, which in a lot of ways I think is even better than trying to get the adults in. Give the kids something to be proud and happy about, and something that they can kind of get a pat on the back for. And it's really interesting to see when they think of Southbridge, what do they think of? So you see a lot of things with the AO, you see a lot of things with the town hall, with Notre Dame Church or Blessed St. John Paul II Parish now. But you also see things like football helmets, or you'll see the town common, or the glasses sculpture that's down there representing the AO. We had one that was a winner that incorporated bowling, because Southbridge has, we don't tend to think of it as a bowling town. We tend to think of it as a football town or maybe a baseball town. But you have a long history of especially candlepin bowling in this town. Some very good bowlers. So just different sorts of aspects and avenues that have been explored, which I think is really ideal, because that allows us to not look at it from one point of view or from this group's point of view and that group's point of view. It's something that is looked at from across the spectrum and represents as many people as possible.
So Steve, one of the issues that I know I've been talking about with our police department and with our school system is the issue of parking, right? Because we want to get as many people as we can to downtown as comfortably as we can. Can you tell us about what the plans are for parking a little bit, and how you're getting people to be able to, I think there's a shuttle actually, I think that might be working, right?
Right. The goal is 2 shuttles, one on each side of town. So we have parking area reserved at American Optical in the back, the K Street lot, which is way in the back, and also East Main Street right across from the AO. There's that parking area. So those are the two spots where people can park on the east side of town. You go to the west side of town, we're really looking to get the lot that's by Fins and Tails and the big huge lot that's behind that. That's the one we're really looking to get. Also,
It's locked off right now, I think.
right.
I mean, you must be
It is locked.
working
It's
with the owner.
concrete.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
concrete.
there's some blocks there, yeah.
We're working with that. We also have the school properties, West Street on the west side of town. But that's where we're starting. And the buses will go around, or the shuttles will go around and drop people off at Main Street. And as those lots fill up, depending, we have other lots that we'll use. There's J.I. Morris, there's Hyde Tool, there's some lots that are owned by United Lens, though their main lots are busy. So we have those lots. So it's going to be very,
So you can have
very
some
busy.
advertising? How are people going to find those lots the day of the parade or what's open? Is there something in the newspaper?
That will be in the newspaper, the news.
The
It'll
news,
also be on the
telegram,
website.
And the website,
and the
of
website.
course.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you're
The
looking for
website
parking,
and
please
Facebook page.
check into the website and Facebook page to make sure
Yep.
that it's as easy as possible for you to
Right.
get in and out of the parade, right?
Yep, and there's also going to be parking at St. John Paul II Parish, Notre Dame. So that's more closer. You don't even have to worry about a shuttle bus. And what's important to bring up about that is that's walking distance to the festival, which will be going on around the same time as the parade and after the parade. So that's another big event that's coming on, and it's going to be the same day. So the parade itself is going to take about 2 hours, we're figuring. And one of the neat things we're going to have in there also is the World War II equipment, which is really kind of cool. We're going to have a couple of tanks, armored personnel carriers, neat stuff like that, and other military groups, Civil War, Revolutionary War. It's going to be nice. And that's going to kind of break up the different parts of the town's history. It's going to be neat.
You know, one of the things that Sean has talked to me a lot about over time is the issue of diversity in Southbridge and how the different parts of our community need to all come together and stuff. So it sounds like there's going to be some diversity in the parade, different cultures, which I really like because we really got to bring everybody together if we're going to make the next 200 years just as successful as the past 200. So, Sean, you talked a little bit about diversity. What else can you tell me about that as it relates to the parade?
Sure. Certainly, our town is not any one center of origin, any one race or ethnicity or culture or religion. There's just a great cornucopia of that in town. And to represent that, we've got a number already on board, but we're always looking for more different groups that represent that. So we have a spear that's involved, as an example. The church, Blessed St. John Paul II Parish in particular, has several groups within the church that are going to be taking part, and they tend to represent a lot of the different ethnicities and groups in town. And that'll also kind of tie in even chronologically where you have the waves of immigration as they come across. So you go into the 1860s as an example, and you're seeing a lot of Irish. A little bit later you're going to see more Italians and Polish and so forth. And then you have Puerto Rico, you've got Laotian, all kinds of different people from all over the place. So we're trying to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to be involved. So if you're a member of any sort of group that's, whether it's ethnic or if it's just a different group of any sort, by all means, we want anyone and everyone involved in the parade.
Well, that's a question. Who should they contact and how? I mean, if they want to get in parade, we say we have limited time left. How should they contact you, Steve? Website? How do I get a hold of somebody to ask?
The best way to do it is they could put an entry on Facebook, or they could go to the website, get the form right down from the website. I believe there's telephone numbers on that.
Right.
And speaking of groups that are joining late, we had a late entry, the Italian Club. That's another perfect example of an ethnic group. So we do have that happening in the parade, which is really exciting. And once again, Notre Dame or St. John Paul II Parish, they have a whole group of ministries that are a melding of all different backgrounds. It's
Well, that kind of ties into something else that's going on as part of it. I know you guys are kind of supporting it. It was the Ellis Island play, which taught, there's a lot about the diversity that came in through Ellis Island and came to our country. And frankly, I mean, what made America great is the whole melting pot concept and bringing people together and in the plays a little bit. So let's just talk briefly. I know we're talking about parade today, But let's talk briefly. I know that we have a star in the room who's going to be in the play, a big celebrity. Can we name that guy?
Sure. Why
That would
not?
be
Well, Sean Moriarty.
Sean Moriarty.
He's a big, huge star of the show.
There you go.
Something like that.
The show is, and Sean could talk a lot more about it, but the show times, they start tomorrow, Friday.
Right, so by the time this is airing,
Yep.
it's old news. But
But tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Saturday at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday at 2:30. So if you're watching this, you've already missed it.
Well, we'll try to get this on as fast as we can, but yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's really nice to see her participate. I laughed because I was told they suckered him in and said, "Oh, we got 1 or 2 lines," and then it turned out to be a much bigger part. So
yeah, they as soon as I stepped down, based on my own personal family and professional commitments from council, one of the people I know that's involved knows I have a hard time saying no. And they kind of twisted my arm a few times, and I eventually kind of gave them an odd ultimatum, said if these conditions are met, I'll do it, thinking that they would not go there.
The Speaker of the House here. If these conditions are met, I'll be the Speaker. Yeah, go ahead.
And ultimately they said, they beat me at my own game. They agreed to them, and then once I got there later on, they pulled a bait and switch. So instead of just 4 lines, I think there are no more than 1 or 2 people with more lines in the whole production. So, but it's a really entertaining and important production. Yeah. There were close to 40 people involved on stage from not just Southbridge but around the tri-community area. We have, I think, one guy that's coming out from Springfield. There's people from all over taking part and representing all kinds of different backgrounds and ethnicities coming into the United States circa 1907.
Yeah. So before I leave the parade, Steve, is there anything else I want to talk about the parade? Because I do want to talk about the fireworks event. Yeah. So what else do you want the people in the audience watching this show to know about the parade?
Well, the parade's going to be a blast. And part of the importance of the parade is the decoration of the downtown. You get on the cleaning, the banners. We're also going to have these incredible buntons, which we're looking to hang from all the signboards in the downtown during the first week of May. That's going to be nice. The town will be decorated. We also have the big, huge street banner that's going to go across Main Street. I doubt you'll be able to see that on the camera, but it's really it's really nice. It says "Happy 200th Southbridge," an event to remember, a time to remember. It's really neat. One side is the town logo, the other side is the town seal. So we've tried to incorporate both. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So we really want to encourage everyone in Southbridge. I mean, not too often you have a 200th anniversary parade. It's going to be really exciting. Bring your friends, family, get a taste of all the different diversity in town, and enjoy just a nice day out. Hopefully we get a beautiful sunshiny day. It's spectacular.
We're counting on it. We are counting on it. And the other important thing that's taking place that day, once again, is the festival. The festival is going to start at around the same time as the parade, but it's going to go till 6 o'clock, 6 or 7, I think.
Right.
6, I think. But anyway, what's going to be fun about that is 3 bands. We have a salsa band, and we have a southern rock band, and we have a regular rock band, each playing for an hour. At the same time, we have a Little Miss, Little Mister contest going on separately inside the old school. Now, the festival is taking place at McMahon Field, right on Dresser Street.
So what is the festival? What does it mean, a festival? What are they doing?
If you're familiar with Southbridge Fest, it's just we have vendors coming in, and we have some events going on. It's a place for people to come after the parade and just have a good time. They could have food, they could shop, they can watch the bands perform. There's going to be a beer garden. There's going to be a whole bunch of groups that are displaying things, as well as antique cars, I believe.
Right, you'll literally be able to get a taste of the town at this event. It's free. It's open to the public. There are things you might want to purchase while you're there, whether it's games or trinkets or memorabilia. But it's really just a great way that the party doesn't stop when the parade stops. It keeps going over at McMahon Field. And
McMahon Field is, I think most everybody in town probably knows that. But what's the address and what street is that on? Do we know?
On Dresser Street.
Dresser and
Cole Avenue, right where the old high school is.
Terrific, yep. All right, so I'm going to kind of transition here because you guys are doing a lot of great work, and this is really nice to be able to celebrate all the different things. I'm hearing about these fireworks, and I happened to stop in, listen to a little bit of your meeting last night, and heard about the unbelievable fireworks that you guys have planned. Better than anything that's happened in the area is the way I heard it. So, the way you were pitching last night sounded like this is going to be awesome to see and great for kids to see. So why don't you tell us about these fireworks, the date and the time, and why they're going to be so awesome.
So the fireworks are actually being organized by the Southbridge Rotary. And they went out and seek sponsorship from different organizations. They received a good amount of money, an amount of money to put on probably the largest fireworks show in this area for a very long time. Wow. It's going to start at around 5 o'clock. They're going to open up, and there's going to be an area for kids, moon bounces and little rides like that. There's going to be some food up there.
Talking about the airport property,
yes,
right?
At the airport, of course. It's at the airport. So it's going to open around 5 o'clock, and there'll be some vendors up there, and it's going to be a good time for kids to come and settle in. You get your spot, you get ready for the show later on. And as the night goes on, the fireworks will start around sunset. I don't know, that time of the year, maybe 9 o'clock. I'm not really too sure.
Late,
It'll be
so the restaurant is normally open for breakfast and lunch up there. They plan to stay open late that night for the event? Do we know?
I do not know that.
We should talk to them. If it means be a good night for them to be open. There'll be a lot of people up there to have at least some basic stuff up at that restaurant. So.
And there are some concessions coming to the show as well. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be the largest show. It's going to be coordinated with music. So I think they have something like 3,000 speakers. It's just an amazing thing how it's going to all happen. And it's going to be the largest show in this area ever. So that's big. That's big. It's being done by Atlas, one of the best fireworks companies in the world.
One of the Rotary members had told me not just this area, but all of Worcester County. This will be the biggest show in all of Worcester County.
So I know a little bit about airport, and I'm thinking parking again. And I hate to always think parking, but it sounds to me like, this is something that could attract people not from just Southbridge, but from all over the area. So any thoughts as to where we're going to put these people? Because that's going to be a big event.
I know the police are working with Rotary and making sure it's all organized. Atlas has a feeling that there could be 20,000 people.
20,000 people?
Huge.
So that's bigger than our population of Southbridge.
We are going to fill up the airport with cars, and there is overflow parking in some areas, and they're still talking about overflow in other areas. The one thing that's going to happen is that the police are going to direct the traffic. There's going to be one way in, one way out. They're going to close. I think it's Clements Hill Road. Right. That will be for emergency traffic, and you'll be able to exit going down Commercial Drive. But once the fireworks begins, you're not going to be getting out unless it's an emergency. And after the fireworks, they're going to need some time to clean up the field, look for unexploded shells and things like that before they begin letting everyone out. But it's going to be a blast.
So listen, we've mentioned it a couple of times, and I want to say it clearly because this organization is awesome for Southbridge, and they invest the kind of money they're doing into these fireworks incredible. So special thank you to the Rotary Club, who's really coming forward to make this a spectacular event, not just for Southbridge, but it sounds like for everybody around. But there's other businesses and other organizations that have been involved in helping out too, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
And could you just I just want to, and we may not hit them on, I apologize if we don't hit them on, but some of the players that have been amply involved in kind of supporting this event?
Well, we have Southbridge Savings Bank, we have Savers Bank, we have the Credit Union. They've all been, large donors. Credit Union to the fireworks, some of the banks to both the fireworks and the Bicentennial. We've had United Lens. We've had, I'm afraid of missing people.
I know,
Sturbridge Village. We had even
the church has given
St. John Paul II Parish has given money. The Historical Societies have given a good amount of money.
And then there are groups that have done, rather than cash donations, have donated either goods or services to help out in different ways. So it's really been all hands on deck, and a lot of people have stepped up for us.
And you guys got some state funds too for this, right? When there's the state has historical grants and things for this kind of event, so you did get some money from the state. Yep. So very little local dollars are involved in this, as I understand it. I don't remember anything in the budget.
The town itself hasn't handed us any.
This has been This has been a total volunteer effort. No tax money from Southbridge has been used on this. We've had some state grants. We've had a couple of state grants. Senator Moore was instrumental in getting one, and then Senator Fatman and also
Representative
Durant were also involved in getting the other one.
Right.
So we've had a good amount of money come from the state, and a lot of money has come from local organizations and groups in town. I cannot thank the sponsors enough.
And anything else has come just through the merchandise, the T-shirts, the polo shirts, the different events we've done. It's small money in the long run, but we're not necessarily looking to, we're not trying to make money. Nobody's profiting from this. It's all going just to put on these events and make them as memorable as possible.
So, one of the things we talked about before is there's some things you guys have been selling, right? So do you want to talk a little bit about, are things still for sale? Do you still have merchandise?
Absolutely.
And how do I buy this stuff if I want to buy it?
We have Christmas ornaments, we have coins, we have T-shirts, polo shirts, bracelets, lapel pins. We have all kinds of really neat stuff. If you just go to the website, just go to southbridge200.org, the information is there about how to get it and what to get. You can order it. It's really, really kind of neat. It's special to have this stuff for the future, because we look back and we see the stuff from the Bicentennial and the Centennial, and you think, wow, look at this. Well, there'll be something for you to pass on to your grandchildren, from the Bicentennial.
Now, I heard something else. You guys are looking for a long-lost time capsule. And I hear you're struggling. I think you might have found it. But why don't you tell people about this lost time capsule? And have we found it? And do we know where it's going to be to dig it up?
I think Jimmy Hoffa is the one that buried it for us.
Right. So the hunt for the time capsule is an interesting one because there are two primary areas where people feel that it is. It's either on Dresser Park on Main Street, or behind the World War I monument right across the street from the town hall. And that are the two places. The one reason for the World War I monument is that there was a ceremony there in 1966. And in doing the research, we found the newspaper article that talked about the burial of the time capsule. And we went through it, and it all goes about how in the Bicentennial in 2016, it will be removed by the Bicentennial Committee and more stuff will be added to it. But unfortunately, at the end of the article, it says it wasn't actually buried at that time because they were still waiting for the year to end so that they could add more to the time capsule and then bury it. So we're looking for it.
You still haven't found it. I thought you found it. You haven't found it yet.
We've asked people. We've dug where we thought it was. We found some things, but not the time capsule.
All right, so if you're out there and you know anything about this time capsule or where it might be, please let these guys know. It'd be great to actually find it and add stuff to it for the future generations to look at in the next,
exactly.
anniversary year.
We would like it. And just to add on to that, we have to find it by October because part of the Walk October that's done by the Last Green Valley organization, we do have a ceremony going on October 22nd for the new time capsule. We want to get the old time capsule in place by October 22nd.
Right.
Especially before the ground gets too hard.
Right.
Yeah, it would be a problem, yeah. So anyway, we're down to the last minute or two, and I'm going to go to you, Sean. Any last comments before I close the show? Anything else that you want the people that are out there watching here in Southbridge to know about, be it the parade or the festival or the fireworks? What else do they need to know? Anything?
Sure. So regardless of the parade, the festival, the fireworks, the time capsule, if you have ideas, if your group has ideas that you want to do something, by all means, let us know, and we'll do our best to help you out with that. Gateway reached out to us in regards to doing Ellis Island, and we made that a joint effort, but it was something that they took the initiative in. We've got even Blessed St. John Paul II Parish. We did our gala ball back in February for the actual anniversary date. They're going to do their own ball in the fall. Different groups may have different ideas that they want to do. If the fire department wants to do a fireman's muster, great. If the car club wants to do something on their end, by all means. If Southbridge Softball or the Southbridge Little League wants to do a 19th century baseball game somewhere, great. Anything and everything that helps us, whether it's celebrating something that's current, celebrating something that took place 100 years ago, 200 years ago, or even just celebrating something upcoming in the future. Anything we can do that just celebrates Southbridge helps us realize that regardless of what we may or may not see in the papers or on Facebook or anywhere else any given day, we know what tends to make the news. and we sometimes get bogged down by that. But we really kind of need to look at the positives of what we have here in town and actually.
I was thinking the same thing.
celebrate
Yeah.
Southbridge here.
And that's really what this is all about. It's, we have a beautiful town. There's just so many great things happening in town. And as you said, you listen to all the organizations that came together to put these events together. It's amazing the talent and the people that are, and the resources that people voluntarily give to help the town. It's awesome. We've got to, like I said, we each, and all of you out there need to sell Southbridge. Talk about all these great things that are going on, what a great community we have, and that pays dividends. More businesses come to town, we improve our property values, housing prices go up. It's so great when we're all working together as a community to make our future great, and that's really what this celebration is about. It's a celebration of the past, but also kind of a celebration of the future and looking forward to what we can do as a group. So thank you for tuning in to the show. I'm going to be doing a show soon with State Representative Peter Duran. I'm looking forward to talk about some state issues. But as always, we're trying to keep you informed, and I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you for being a guest, and I wish you the very best as you move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.